BF, 29M, said he'd dump me, 25F, if I got cancer. I DK what to do. I was having some weird pain in my boob for a few days and I told him about it and said it might be because of my bra and I hope it's not anything serious. I don't have any history of breast cancer but still a random pain was worrying. He said it's probably not anything serious and the topic went to cancer and mastectomies and I asked him how he'd feel if I lost my boobs. I guess I thought he would say he'd be okay with it, but he said it'd be weird for him but I could get implants. And I told him some people can't. I am not sure if that's 100% true but it's something I heard, and he just said that's rough. I kind of pushed the topic because he wasn't answering and I told him it's hard for the partner too and I'd partially understand if they break up and then he said his opinion that he wouldn't be able to be attracted and it'd affect the whole relationship so he'd probably break up. I was shocked because I love my boyfriend and I'm so attracted to him but if he lost something I was physically attracted to, I'd still be with him. He doesn't agree because he said he loves my body and if I lost my boobs, he wouldn't be attracted and the basis of a relationship is sexual attraction. He said he would understand if I lost attraction for him after he lost his balls or muscles. I told him I don't care about his testicles or his body but he didn't believe me. I understand his point but it made me feel strange. I just changed the topic because the thought that he'd leave me if I became sick was freaking me out. I've been thinking about it and it makes me feel uneasy. I'm not perfect looking but I think I am conventionally attractive and my boyfriend is good looking to me. We work out almost every day and fitness appearance is very important to him. He does the whole protein drinks and weightlifting stuff. But I just feel like cancer is different than if someone were to let themselves go and gain weight. Well, now you know he doesn't actually love you, and just sees you as a sex object. Dump him. If you were to marry this guy and you got sick he would leave you in a heartbeat, beat him to it and break up with him. Leave immediately. Here's the thing. Men leaving their wives when the wife gets cancer is so common that nurses actually warn their female patients about it. This jerk is not going to be one to stick around. We say, for better or worse, in marriage vows because sometimes real life is hard. Real life is messy. This guy doesn't want real life. He wants fantasy girl who never has anything actually happening with her to distract from him. Leave him. That's weird. It's an early sign, gift, from the universe to learn this about his character now. Sounds very immature. So basically, you're only there to be eye candy and if you stop being eye candy due to cancer, he'd leave you. Unfortunately, this way of thinking is not uncommon in healthcare, especially in oncology. My friend works in oncology and said the nurses are literally trained to warn female patients about the possibility of their husband or boyfriend leaving them due to their diagnosis. How do I 27F support my SXU ally frustrated boyfriend, 29M? He, 29M, has been very patient with me, 27F, but is reaching his breaking point. We have been together for a year. He is frustrated and I can tell. I've cried many nights, he didn't know. No matter how aroused and relaxed I am he can only go halfway in, 3 inches, before it starts hurting. I'm anatomically smaller, frankly too small. I got checked out and everything looks good, I even got the V dilators for practice. Still doesn't help much. This is the guy the first envisioned myself getting married to and having babies with. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself for letting such a strong connection go because I can't take it. Are you using lube? My boyfriend and I have gotten to a point now where we just default to using lube every time because it's so much better for me. I'm just naturally not super wet and feel this could be your issue as well. You can do a dozen other sexual acts that don't involve you being penetrated. I suspect that this is some sort of medical problem though. Don't feel guilty for something you can't control. You need to see a gyno doctor. They can give you a Botox injection in the overactive muscle to treat this. I have had it. This is a pelvic floor thing. Pelvic floor therapist and maybe a sex therapist if you want help with the communication. There's nothing wrong with you, it's just a pelvic floor thing and can 100% be worked on. See more doctors and sex therapists. Also get creative in the bedroom. I bet there are a ton of fun things to do. Oral and anal are a thing. Hold your hand around the base so you stroke him while penetrating but keeps him from going too far in. Try prone bone. Lay flat on your belly and he lays on top, penetrate like doggy style. Makes it so he feels like he gets deeper. I am a bigger guy, and a lot of girls can't handle full penetration. That being said, if he is pressuring you, you need to leave. My 23M girlfriend, 22F, entertained a guy. My 23M girlfriend, 22F, and admitted that she entertained a guy from work for 2 weeks. We've been together for 3 years. She said she didn't like this guy for their whole time period working. One day while she was about to go home late, the guy offered to take her home. This guy and her stayed at the playground of her condominium after going home, and they stayed until morning there, just talking. Then she said they continued to talk for 2 weeks through messaging because she left this job. But she blocked this guy without any notice because she felt guilty, and she said nothing physical happened between them. I asked if there were any flirtatious remarks. She said there were and showed me a long message from the guy just admitting to liking her. So basically, she liked the attention because she was comparing me, and in our early days I was not this type of guy she wanted, and up until now. Says I'm not the provider type. Her problem with that is easily fixable through communication, but it doesn't excuse her for doing this. The way she pointed out that she liked talking with him while she was often lazy to talk to me. And some other things she pointed out I lacked. She has this pattern of building these feelings up without communicating it, and now this is the result. Any advice, guys? WTF, she randomly stayed at park until morning? She's trickle-truthing you. You asked for advice. Leave now before she finds someone worthy. I mean, she's actively looking for someone better than you. Why are you staying with her? This guy and her stayed at the playground of her condominium after going home, and they stayed until morning there, just talking. Yeah, right, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. Brother, I'm sorry to tell you, but I would have a very hard time believing nothing physical happened when she hung out all night at a park. Hell, I wouldn't even believe that she didn't take him inside. I mean, be realistic. If she is already hanging out with a guy at 2 a.m. outside and she has a condo, why would she not just bring him inside? She feels guilty, so she is telling you half-truths and leaving out the actual hard parts. I'm sorry, man, you deserve better, and you will find better. You deserve a girl that actually appreciates you and doesn't take you for granted. I'm sorry, man. Leave her. She doesn't deserve you. If your best friend told you his girlfriend did this, what would you tell him? You have to be honest with yourself. Follow the advice you would give. I would tell my brother she's not the one. She doesn't respect you and you should leave her. Adults FK when they hang out until the morning hours. You cannot be this naive. This won't be her first cheating rodeo, dude. You now have proof that she's clocked out and trying out your replacement. You seriously need to end it now before you get hurt worse in the future, and you will. Is this really how men are? IF24, my boyfriend M24. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 1.5 years now, and I'm starting to feel like this relationship is only about sex. The way the day goes always depends on whether or not I perform sexual acts. If I'm not in the mood, he acts like I never try to do anything for him. Personally, I feel my sex drive has gone down because of this. It no longer feels fun or enjoyable, it feels like a chore. Because my sex drive has gone down, I mostly just do it out of not wanting to have an argument or a bad day. I never get to be affectionate without it leading to something sexual. I never get hugs, which means a lot to me. My mom moved away a few years ago, and when I have a hard day, a warm embrace is usually all I needed. My boyfriend has never hugged me just because he wants to, and when I ask for a hug it's just me wrapping my arms around him as he just stands there with his arms by his side. I've always wanted to watch a movie and cuddle, but as soon as I go to cuddle, he instantly goes to make it known that he is ready for sex by putting his member on my back. If I ignore it, he makes me put my hand on it, and if I don't act interested, he turns away and doesn't speak for a while, then continues to tell me about how I'm basically ruining his day. Some days he wakes me up at 5 a.m. trying to have sex with me. It starts again with him putting it on my back to try and tell me what he wants. Most days I ignore it and pretend I'm asleep, and then he goes on to shake my body to try and wake me up. I am not a morning person at all, so this upsets me a lot more than anything else because I've made it known since the beginning of our relationship that I do not like to be woken up. Especially at 5 a.m. on a day I don't work and am never able to go back to sleep. If I don't go along with what he wants, I usually wake up to a few long messages about how I'm basically the worst girlfriend. Sometimes when he does something awkward, to counteract whatever he feels, he'll quickly reach into my shirt to try and grab my breasts, which makes me really uncomfortable, especially now that we're 24 and this seems to be how 17-year-olds act. My therapist told me that this is just how men are. Sometimes I think about leaving, but I think what's the point if this is just how men are? Is this really how men are? This is not how all men are. Yes, sex is important in any relationship, but it is not everything. Intimacy is just not sex either. Intimacy comes in many forms, and hugs and kisses count too. Obviously you know what you have to do in the end, stay or leave. I want to reach out and hug you. This is not normal and not how most men are. Waking you at 5 a.m. and manipulating you into having sex or else he will make your day miserable is not okay. Sex should be enjoyable for both people and not a chore or obligation. You are so young. Don't put up with his nonsense for another second. Also, please get a new therapist. Being miserable is a reason to end a relationship. Men don't all act the same way. I don't expect most physical affection to lead to sex. I would ask if something was wrong after about a week without sex unless I saw an obvious explanation. Your boyfriend and your therapist suck. No, not all men, not most men, or emotionally manipulative sex pests who expect sex on demand as if you were a paid sex worker. Be done with this asshole already. No, men are not grapes, you don't weigh them by the bunch. Nor are women. Nor are any humans. We do not clump people together in order to denigrate them, right? Right? Don't just leave your childish chump of a boyfriend, leave your therapist. That therapist gave you information that was not only incorrect, but harmful, and indicative of disregard for the basic humanity that other men have and which you deserve, encouraging you to stay with someone who is bad for you personally and horrible generally. It seems like a minor thing, but it's bad in a substantial, foundational way. I am honestly curious if it is a man or woman therapist. I assume it's not a non-binary person, as most of the NB folks I know have figured out gender to a degree that would preclude this kind of BS.